you guys have a snack before you went to bed that night?
I forget.
What else would she do fruit-wise?
That's all I know. Pineapple.
Pineapple?
Yeah.
You mentioned that once before. Is that kind of a favorite
Yeah,
of the family?
It's really favorite thing.
Or a secret hiding place that they can put a key, you know, if they get locked out?
I don't remember. I mean, one time we did get locked out, and there are, this is a dry basement, but there are 2 windows to the basement.
A simple question about a snack, forgotten instantly. The same question, once the word pineapple enters it, the memory comes right back. And a question about a spare key, answered unprompted with a description of the basement window, the central detail of the entire intruder theory. Today, we cross-reference all 3 moments. I'm Marcus Wren, creator of the Tell Index, a 50-signal system for analyzing statements and behavior in criminal cases. Today's video breaks down a short interview segment with the teenage Burke Ramsey, centered on 2 seemingly harmless topics, a Christmas Eve snack and hiding a spare key. 6-year-old JonBenét Ramsey was found dead in her family's Boulder, Colorado home on December 26, 1996. The family was cleared by DNA evidence in 2008, and the case remains unsolved. Subscribe if you want more analysis like this.
Did you guys have a snack before you went to bed that night?
I forget.
What was JonBenét's favorite snack?
I don't think she had a snack. And pineapple in bed.
Okay. Would she ever like a particular thing to eat during the day, you know, for a snack?
Just whatever Mom had laid out. She always had laid out a snack for after school.
Okay.
So whatever she had ready, we just eat.
And what would a typical snack be?
Pudding or just like leftover pizza or something.
So would there ever be, you know, it sounds like your mom was pretty nutritional, you know.
She wasn't that curious.
Wasn't she? Some moms cut up apples.
Yeah.
What else would she do fruit-wise?
That's all I know. Pineapple.
Pineapple?
Yeah.
You mentioned that once before. Is that kind of a favorite of the family?
It's really favorite thing.
Is that probably the most favorite?
Apples or pineapple, probably the two.
Asked directly whether they had a snack before bed on Christmas Eve, Burke answers instantly, I forget. But seconds later, he speaks fluently and in detail about their everyday snacks. Leftover pizza, pudding, his mom always having something laid out. And only when the interviewer specifically prompts pineapples does he confirm it was the favorite. This is code C5, checking whether someone is clearly detailed on general points while being vague specifically at the one important central detail of the same event. Cross-referenced against the forensic record, that vagueness lands exactly on the most significant detail. The autopsy report noted undigested pineapple in JonBenét's stomach based on normal digestion speed. This indicates she ate pineapple just hours before her death, meaning after the family returned from their Christmas Eve party, precisely the window Burke says he forgets whether any snack happened at all. Police also photographed a bowl of fresh pineapple with a large spoon left on the kitchen counter the next morning, and Patsy Ramsey's, Burke's mother's, fingerprints were found right on that bowl. According to former lead investigator James Kolar's book, one theory raised is that Burke himself was eating pineapple in the kitchen that night when JonBenét woke up and reached for a piece of her brother's snack, leading to a confrontation in which he accidentally struck her in the head with a hard object. If that snack truly wasn't memorable, forgetting it instantly while still recalling other snacks clearly, and only remembering pineapple once prompted, is a notable selective memory pattern landing exactly on the one detail that could bear directly on the cause of death.
Do you ever have any keys that maybe if you got locked out you could get somewhere? You know, some people keep keys kind of hidden under something, or, you know, out in the yard, or a secret hiding place that they can put a key, you know, if they get locked out.
I don't remember. I mean, one time we did get locked out, and there are, I mean, this is a dry basement, but there are 2 windows in the basement.
The original question is entirely simple and unrelated to the case. Did the family ever hide a spare key somewhere in case someone got locked out? A natural answer only requires yes or no. Instead, Burke pivots on his own. I don't remember. One time we did get locked out, and there are 2 windows in the basement. Then continues describing how the windows can be opened from the inside. This is code A8, assessing whether a passage has an unusually clean, pre-prepared structure instead of flowing the way real spontaneous memory typically does. Cross-referenced against the case background, the basement window isn't a random detail. It's precisely the centerpiece of the intruder theory that John and Patsy Ramsey repeatedly presented to press and police over the years, that the killer entered and escaped through a broken basement window. A child asked about a spare key, a mundane question with no direct mention of the case. Spontaneously connecting it to exactly this central piece of evidence is an unnatural logical leap for such a simple question. Cross-referenced against the scene record, the window theory itself has also been disputed by multiple independent sources using physical evidence. Investigators documented a spiderweb spanning that exact window frame as still intact. The steel grate covering it outside also had an undisturbed web, and the Samsonite suitcase positioned right under the window, believed to be a step used to climb out, showed no sign of being stepped on or shifted. A detail already disputed by the scene evidence itself surfacing, unprompted, in a child's answer to an entirely different question, is worth cross-referencing further, though on its own it doesn't prove anyone was coached.
You can open them from the inside, but not the outside.
Are you talking about basement windows?
Yeah, he broke the basement window, went through there, came up around.
Then let you in.
Yeah, then I think it was the front door.
Right after mentioning the 2 basement windows, Burke goes on, unprompted, to add a specific technical detail. The window opens from the inside, not from the outside. This is code A4 again, this time checking whether this level of detailed, readily shared knowledge matches the point in time when this detail actually became significant in the case record. Cross-referenced against the public record, the lock mechanism itself, a simple wooden latch operable only from inside, is real and accurate. But what's notable isn't the mechanism itself. It's when the detail of the basement window being broken, first entered the case record at all. Rick French, the first officer on scene that morning, checked the basement area, but did not report any open or broken window in his initial report. That detail first appears in the case record on April 30th, 1997, 4 months after the murder, when John Ramsey himself, during a police interview, recounted going down to the basement early that morning, seeing the window cracked open, and latching it, but never mentioning this to anyone for 4 months. According to former lead investigator James Kolar's book, this delay itself is what raises suspicion. If John really had gone into that exact room that morning as he describes, why didn't he discover his daughter's body, found in that very area just hours later? In other words, the basement window only became a memorable, worth-mentioning detail in the family's story starting in April 1997, not from the night of the murder itself. A child describing the window's technical mechanism as naturally and casually, as if it had always been an obvious part of the family's story, set against the point when that detail actually entered the case record, is a gap worth cross-referencing further. And I forget that lands exactly on the question about that night's snack. A question about a key answered with a description of the basement window. A technical detail about that window, told as naturally as if it were obvious, even though the open window detail itself didn't enter the case record until 4 months after the murder. What do you think? Leave a comment below. Subscribe for more analysis in this case series.